Hey guys, it's Zach from MoveSkill.com. So this video we're gonna start to approach the planche. The planche is an advanced gymnastics movement, but I don't want this to be scary for you. We're gonna really take you through progressions to get you towards this kind of strength. Even if this is something that you're looking at and you're thinking, I'm never gonna do it, it's not worth my time, I really want you to rethink that. The reason we like involving this straight arm strength in our training is it's a wonderful tool to help develop scapular strength and control. It's going to help you on things like pressing and pulling, anything where you're moving your arms. The more ability you have to anchor your shoulder and put power through your arms, the stronger you're going to get and the greater results you're going to see. Not to mention you're going to build a safer and stronger shoulder that'll keep you moving for a long time. So real quick, what we're gonna need for this to begin with is either a box or some sort of elevated position to put our feet on. We wanna make sure this is something that's not gonna move when we start off, all right? What I wanna do before I start doing any planche work is I really wanna spend some time on my wrist. So if you haven't seen the wrist prep video, go back and look at it. This is something you don't want to skip. You're about to put a lot of load on your wrist in a really exposed position, and if you're not preparing for it and spending time getting ready for it, it's going to come back to bite you later on. So make sure you're doing your wrist prep work. In terms of the placement for my hands for the planche, ideally I'm going to have my fingers pointing straight forward. If you start to lean forward and you feel uncomfortable, feel some pain in the wrist, what you can do is start to turn the hands out slightly. So having your hands go from this position to slightly out, almost to having your thumbs pointing straight forward, but not quite. This is going to allow a little bit more room for your wrist, but it's still going to allow you to press through the palm of the hand to give you some support while you're doing the planche. So, hands right underneath my shoulders, fingers forward, and I want to press down into the ground and pull my shoulders down. So I'm going to protract and depress my scapula. So I'm pulling down and pushing forward as hard as I can. Now these are counteracting movements, but that's what's going to give you the stability. So hands flat, protract, depress. Once you've played around with that, now you're ready to start doing the assisted planche. So I want you to set yourself up with your toes on a box. Your knees are going to be bent and your hands are going to be right underneath your shoulders. I want you to twist your hands into the ground, pull your shoulders down, press forward, lift your butt off the ground. Now right now my shoulders might be a little bit in front of my wrist, but what I'm going to do is try and straighten my legs just a little bit and press my shoulders out in front. All right, one more time. Twist the hands into the ground, pack my shoulders down, press into the ground hard, and push myself forward. If this feels easy, you can walk your hands a little bit further forward and start to do this in more of a planked position. What we're looking for in terms of the position that you're going to work in is something that you can hold for at least 15 seconds. Now, generally what we're going to prescribe is something in the 8 to 12 second range. But understand that we're going to be doing repeated sets here, so you need to be doing something that's maybe a little bit further back than your max effort. And the reason is, if you're not in a really good position during this, you're really just practicing bad movement or bad holding patterns, and we don't want to do this. This is a tough position. This takes a lot of time to develop. Going from something like this to a full planche for some athletes takes several years, and that's totally normal. So make sure that you're working well within your abilities. If you try this on the box and it feels like it's relatively easy, then we can switch to something a little bit more unstable, like a medicine ball. A cart, like a wheeled cart, might work pretty well for this as well. I'm going to start with a similar setup, so knees are bent, hands underneath the shoulders, twist on the ground, press hard, and this time you're going to hold, and now that ball wants to move around on you, and it's going to make it a little bit more dynamic, a little bit more difficult. Like I said again, work with something that's within your ability. This is going to feel really rough on your biceps, on your elbows, and on your wrists, so make sure you start where you're not going to get yourself hurt. All right? That being said, this movement is an investment. It really is an investment in your shoulder strength and your ability, and the more you do this earlier on, it's going to pay off in dividends in the long run. So don't skip this. It's awesome stuff. I hope this is some new and exciting stuff for you guys. Have a good one.